Good morning, everybody, and happy 4th of July to you. Please have a safe and sane one. And if you're out in the West, please be careful with when you're shooting off fireworks and things like that. We had a situation here where we had a couple towns, Cloverdale was allowed to sell fireworks, but they're way up at the northern end of the county. And even they had to suspend their fireworks sales because it is so dry here, which kind of makes me fearful for September and October when stuff really gets dry. So be safe and be sane, as they used to say. And yeah, let's all be a little cautious here. Anyway, I was thinking today about the things about our nation and the 4th of July. And of course, we're celebrating the declared independence of the United States of America. And actually, it was the 13 original colonies. And there was a progression leading up to that. It wasn't a one-day event. It's taxation without representation, Boston Tea Party, and various other protests. Thomas Paine penning his pamphlet, Common Sense. There were things that led up to that, and the ability to self-govern without having to answer to a king. And by and large, things worked out pretty good for this nation. We were blessed with arable, fertile land. We were blessed with people that had a pioneering spirit, those that could get up and go from Europe. Got up and went, and not everything has been glorious, of course, with our pushing out of Native American populations and things, but we have to understand the times that people were a part of back then, and it was a different mindset than we have today. Today, though, when I look around and I see, I thought to myself, when is America ever at its best? And I thought to myself, I thought long and hard about this question. And in other words, we live in a time now where people are dividing, subdividing. We're getting these little tribal cultures and this and that by gender, sexuality, rich or poor, political party. And I thought, wow, what is the one time that America has always stood the tallest and has always been the exemplification of the spirit of America? And then, of course, it is in those times when we go in and go to war and things like that. And we put our lives on the lines, not just for people, but also principles that are important, and that is the principles of rights to people to be self-governed. And nowadays, when I look around, I don't see that unifying force, and it certainly doesn't argue for going to war. But as Abraham Lincoln said, and as it was quoted in the Bible by Christ himself before, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And I thought to myself, one of the things looking back in history of America, we used to be a melting pot. Whatever they called that. You probably haven't heard that term for 50 years, right? We all came together. We all formed this great stew, this great soup of America. And we couldn't wait to all throw off our individuality, our tribalism, and pick up that American flag and tell people, hey, I'm as American as you are, Irish Americans, whatever, immigrants, Polish, whatever. And even slaves were freed. We're happy to pick up that flag and say, now I feel like I'm fully American. Of course, there were still years of struggle ahead and all that, but nowadays we don't have that melting pot. We take great joy in segregating into smaller sections of our society what we are. The way we identify ourselves becomes smaller units. And we have things that, celebrations that celebrate those differences among us. And they're more than just cultural, like an Italian Day or a Greek festival or something like that. They also split on ideology now, and they also split by gender and gender identity and sexual identity and things like that. It's very unusual things in the history of the world to have such micro splitting. And I thought to myself today, wow, the only times we really ever see this nation unified are in times we all come together for a common purpose, such as war and things like that. But I'll tell you what, more and more I think to myself, why have we lost that sense of celebrating unity? Right. So my hope for all of us is that we take a holiday like the 4th of July and celebrate our togetherness as a nation. Because I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any better in the world than it has right here with this great experiment of American democracy we have here. As the title of the movie said, it's as good as it gets, right here, right now. And if we kind of sense that that's being chipped away now, and that's not guaranteed to always be there. You look at the history of civilizations, and every single civilization through history has always failed for one particular reason, because of the human nature of human beings, to begin to individualize themselves and to put their particular needs, their particular tribal wants above the unity of the whole. Well, we'll never escape that human nature, but we certainly have to pause and reflect and wonder, push ourselves to try to rise above that as much as we possibly can. So enjoy your 4th of July today, and think about the unity when you look around at the people in your life, and they're probably very diverse these days, by ethnicity, by social status, by income, and other things like that. And you ask yourself, what is the one thing that unites us all on this great day? It is that we are Americans. It is really the last common bond that we share in this nation. Hate it or love it, this is as good as it gets. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. Feel free to share this message, like and subscribe, and thumbs up are always appreciated. Thanks, everybody.